welcome back to another episode of Catch That. I am Naturally Elise, and that's my bro,
JR.
And today we are welcoming back our very, very good friend, sometimes, Mark Chappelle. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Elise. How are you? I'm so glad to see you today.
I'm not convinced.
Okay, no, one more time. I can do it. I can do it.
Yes, to tell you a little bit about our shady friend, just know he's a Los Angeles-based writer, graphic designer, singer, musician. He can do a lot of things, and I love that. So, and he writes wonderful, wonderful retrospectives of albums and just deep dives into albums on albumism. Yes. It is actually, and I'm gonna make Mark blush. I'm gonna say something nice to him. It's some of the best music writing that I've read.
I totally agree. Totally.
The camera on?
So yeah, he's a truly, truly gifted writer and just has wonderful ear and just can do wonderful analysis of music, and that's why we brought him back.
Thank you.
Yes.
AJR. I'm
nice.
Yes. So, Mark, how about you tell the folks what album are we going to be digging into today?
Well, it's one of my favorite. Which is why I have like 8,000 copies of it. It's Alexander O'Neal's Hearsay.
Yes.
Oh, already knowing? You already see. I thought I was going to catch you off guard, but no, you really do be knowing.
I mean, the show is called Catch That. I mean,
thought I was going to catch you. I could not.
Oh, God.
But yes, and JR can kind of go into why we wanted to talk about this album with Mark specifically.
Yeah, so we always refer back to our trip that we always took, and Mark, he shook the table a couple times, y'all. So, Mark, did y'all really just do this? Okay, so he shook the table a few times, and he was like, he don't like male singers at all.
In general, like you can't just be regular ass male singer. Like, okay,
right.
Because just I'll be sure it's cool, but just because you light skin doesn't mean that I want to listen to you.
I agree.
And it's not like I don't like I'll Be Sure, because I know y'all like to bring stuff back, but
I mean, I'm with you with him.
Well, I said on the show before I don't know if it was one of our lives or something. I said I love I'll Be Sure songs. I wish he would have gave them to other people to sing.
That's the thing, though.
Well, if he'd have gave that whole album to like it didn't even have to be like an amazing singer, just even a mid singer. Like it would have elevated it so much.
Quite possibly, but again, like I know part of it is marketing, and a look is a whole thing. But we'll probably get into that with Mr. O'Neal.
Oh, we will.
Oh, listen.
Because
so we was just like, yo, he was like he loves Alex. He did say he loved Alex. So me and Elise was like, ooh, we talked to him about Shaka. We can talk to him about Alex. So we asked him what album he wanted to talk about, and as y'all saw, he wanted to talk about Hearsay. So we will be talking about that, going into that. We'll be talking about Alex's slick back and all that good stuff.
Oh my God.
So yes. So going into this, bro, what did you love about Alex? What put you on to him off the break?
Okay, so I was probably 6 years old. I would go to record stores, and I don't know why they put up with me. I was small, and I had a whole bunch of opinions and didn't know nothing. So like I would act, it was one of those records.
Like Twitter?
It's too soon to fight you. You have to wait for it. So literally I would go into the record store like in my neighborhood, and they had 45s on the wall. and I didn't know anything. So like they would just take their 45s off and play something for me. They played me "Innocent" by Alexander O'Neal. I'm like, ooh, this sounds really good. But I think that's probably the first time I got put on to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So like I'm just listening to, oh wow, this is cool. It had the B-side on there, "Are You the One?" I hardly ever, I just got this like for sentimental reasons. I already have it on CD, but that's how I was like, okay, cool. Alexander O'Neal, like his music it was all about the music. I'd never seen a video or anything. It was just like, how's it sound? I love this bumps. And so I'm like, cool, Alexander O'Neal, but I only listened to that song. I didn't care about the Hearsay album when it was out because that was like grown folks music and I was not grown folks. It was later on, really later, like in the last 10 years, where I finally went back and like, as much as I love Sherelle and Janet and whatnot, like I didn't give Alexander his just due because I'm like, okay, you know, he was just yelling. Then I went back with my grown-up ears and I thought, he's yelling on key. And he's yelling about stuff that is true. But look, you know how I feel. I can give certain artists pass, but you start singing off key and I don't know if we can be friends. I don't. It'll be beautiful gowns, great gowns, and that's about it.
Oh, R.I.P. to the Queen. Yes, beautiful gown.
But when I finally went back and listened to Hearsay with like adult ears, this is after I'm like a huge fan of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis' sound, I'm realizing, wow, Hearsay like pulls in. It's like the midpoint between Control and Rhythm Nation. And if you listen to Sherelle's like Affair, you hear how they're evolving as artists. Like they are hot. And it's like some of the things they were doing production-wise are just, I mean, they're really great at taking songs and making them specific for the artist. And I was just looking at before I got on camera with y'all, Hearsay it was like, I think maybe on the second album that they produced entirely themselves. Even Control had like, you know, then brought in Monty Moyer or Spencer Bernard. Who's the other one? I'm trying to think. Oh, SOS Band, they had to have a couple of their songs that were, you know, produced by them on there, so it wasn't theirs. Hearsay was all Jimmy and Terry, so they really got to show off on this one. I was like, okay, now that I can see like what it's worth, I was like, I can't believe I didn't appreciate this sooner. What was I thinking? Because it just jams, and you got like slow jams on there, and it's kind of a concept album when you think about it.
We were gonna. It is.
It is. Absolutely.
I was like, I can't believe I didn't, like I've missed out on all this Alexander O'Neal stuff. Like I went back, I was buying like the first album, the second album, like anything that like Jam and Lewis touched. But I'm like, apart from that, just realizing this dude is a really, really good vocalist. And I don't know if he actually got his due for how he like handled these songs, because they could have gave him to someone else. It would have been less interesting. Or they would have just relied on the production and let like Jimmy and Terry's jams do all the work. But yeah, Alexander O'Neal, I was late, but I'm so glad I finally caught up. That's why I was like, Hearsay, let's talk about that.
He's absolutely dope vocally. Obviously, you know, Prince picked him out, you know what I'm saying, out of the bunch with Time. So, and Prince don't play games when it comes to vocals, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like, look, like the BET Awards told a lot about what he did with vocals. Ooh, the shade that Prince gave, I loved it. When Alicia Keys was up there, he was like, when Trey Songz, he was like,
yeah, Prince had that side eye on deck.
Ooh, side eye was beautiful. Oh God, I love it. I love it.
It was just a whole side face.
Look, you messing up, you don't get the front.
No, that's and he got on stage and was like, y'all don't got to try to do what I do. I said, ooh, just catch all of it, right? All of it. So with him, he knew vocalists. So when he heard Alex and made him a part of the Time, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? But them two beef, and he kicked them out. Like he kicked them out of Time and got Morris Day. So it was just like, Alex needed to be by himself. I mean, really.
Okay, so really. All that's, I'm sure you've heard that story like 15 different ways, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so like I'm trying to get it together because one of the things that I'm doing for Albumism, which hopefully should be out by the time this is on, is I'm writing about the Time's first album, which is like,
oh, really?
Team came together because it's 40 years old, and they got that like double album that they're putting out. Not a double album, the 2 LP version of it that has the radio edit. The song vinyl. It's to quote one of my friends. It's cute. I don't know if they remastered it. I don't know, like they didn't dig in the vault and like get Prince's original versions of the songs or anything. But it's cool to actually have a good re-release of it. But like writing about that, there was 2 bands that they started out with. It was Flight Time, which of course, I'm trying to think who was in it. I think it was actually Terry that was in that band. No, it was Jimmy and Terry actually. So at some point, I think Alexander was singing lead on that, and then Morris had a band called Enterprise Band of Pleasure, or Enterprise for short. And Prince was trying to like come up with a band for Morris in exchange for him doing Party Up on Dirty Mind. Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was happening. And I think they were kind of trying to steal members from each other at some point. And they're like, well, there's no need because it's going to be the same band in a minute. And they're like, what? That became the time. So Alexander O'Neal was supposed to be there, but if he was the lead singer, then Morris would have been on drums. And then I think Jelly Bean Johnson would have been asked out like, okay, so what is Jelly Bean going to do?
Right.
Boy out. But what had happened was, right, is Alexander O'Neal, I guess, was just kind of like, yeah, so about this situation, where my money at? Basically he pulled an ODB on it, was just like, have my money. And Prince just got up and walked out and didn't say nothing. Next thing you know, Alexander O'Neal got replaced with Morris Day, and then that left a spot for Jelly Bean Johnson to be the drummer. Right. And this is fresh in my memory because I was just looking up his biography this morning, which is very, very interesting, right? But as cool as the time is, he was saying that when when Alexander did his first album, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis got him the deal at Taboo. Yeah. And he had Monty Moyer and like Jelly Bean Johnson working on his album. So basically, he got to work with the time without having to work with Prince. He's like, this is a win-win for me.
That's real. That's real.
I didn't really realize that. I'm like, oh, this is kind of how he wanted it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just love me some Ben. Like the Alexander O'Neal, the Time Prince thing, they have to make a movie at some point because those stories are so good. Like it sounds like somebody wrote them, but that's just what happened.
So intertwined in different places.
Yeah, and it's just enough mess, but there's just enough love there where it's not like, gosh, this is ruthless. It's like, no, like there's just a whole bunch of really talented people that came up at the same time. Whatever was in the water in Minnesota, I would like to have some. Or I would like to spike somebody else's drink so they'll be better. Anyway.
Oh my God. Why do we like him? I swear.
So nasty. So rude.
Look, if you could bottle some Minnesota and be like, yeah, look, drink this real quick and come back. I would love it for a whole bunch of people because it's just so much great music. When even your bad music is good, like you got something going on. I don't know what was in the water, but it was an amazing time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, 87 was such a pretty dope musical year that no one really held the #1 R&B spot for very long. Like everybody got it. That's how much like greatness.
Okay, I would like to hear some receipts. I want to see the receipts.
Okay, 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first song, we ain't gonna count that one, but everything after this is...
Okay, wait. Who's the first song? Wait. Who is it?
I don't even want to say it. Girlfriend, Bobby Brown.
Okay, what's the second one?
Yeah, that's Control.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
right.
we
oh Lord, I hate what's the next one because he gonna throw all the shade.
Who?
Dennis Luther. Stop the and JR gonna be mad because he hate the song "Stop the Love" by Luther Vandross.
That one don't count either.
Number one?
Huh?
Stop the Love was #1
for 2 weeks.
I don't think I realized that Luther had as many #1s as he did. Like, I think Never Too Much, yes. Here and Now, yes. Probably Always and Forever, I'm guessing. Like, I don't know. But, like, I thought that he was more like an artist where, like, everybody loved him. But, like, his songs maybe got to, like, number 3, 4, or 5. But, like...
No, they didn't get to the pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, R&B loved him.
Okay.
They just love Freddie a little more.
They just love Freddie a little more, a lot more.
Interesting.
As far as the charts.
Right.
I will let you continue. There's more to it.
Yes. Candy, Cameo.
Ow.
Okay.
Have You Ever Loved Somebody, Freddie Jackson. He held the #1 spot longer than anyone did that year.
I mean, he did have his hands on the sound, for real.
That's true.
Thing happening? Yes.
Yeah. We had Slow Down, Loose Ends.
Oh, wow.
That's such a black song. Oh God.
It's so blackety black. Just crunchy black.
This side, not this side, this side.
Not the palms. Okay. This is it's getting good.
Okay.
Then you had Let's Wait a While.
Okay.
Oh, that makes you want to sway with it already.
Yeah. Just the mention of it, right?
Yeah.
That's when you know the impact of the song, where you just say the name of the song and you instantly.
I get right to it. La da dee da da dee da. Yep, that's my joint.
Then you had Looking for a New Love, Jody Watley.
Come on, And does that count as Minneapolis with Andre Simone being the producer?
I was gonna ask you guys
We had our own thing.
Yeah.
But I just know everybody's all these people ended up affecting so many different other artists. It was it was major. Because wait, Andre Simone was in either Grand Central or Flight Time. I think it was Grand Central, the band with Prince and Morris.
Was it in Grand Central? It might have been.
I don't know. Okay.
It might have been.
Then you had Sign of the Times.
Say no more.
Then you had Don't Disturb This Groove.
Oh, see.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
Oh, wait a minute. It's starting to get bad.
What?
All Atlantic Moon. Always.
Don't be like that. Why you gotta be like that?
Oh no, yes.
Nowhere.
Oh. That song can go.
But then it came back.
Is it always?
Huh?
Is it always?
Yeah.
Secret Lovers?
I'll take Secret Lovers before Always.
Yeah.
Always was cheesy prom music, but still, that was a hit. Black people got paid. It was a black-owned business. All right. So.
Yeah, true that.
With the most shady brothers. Then we had Head to Toe.
I love them. I really do. I was just bumping that this weekend.
Then you have my favorite group, Rocksteady, The Whispers.
Ooh, shout out to Babyface.
Yes.
Who didn't want to give him that song, but eventually give it up? Come on now.
Then you had Diamonds.
Yes.
Then you had I Feel Good All Over, Stephanie Mills.
See, all over.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, this is off the rails. And then you had Fake, Alexander O'Neal.
Oh, the one with the nasty
ended the year.
Huh?
The one with the
no, I told you ain't nobody stay #1 a long time. We're just in July.
Oh,
holy crap!
That's right.
We're in July right now.
Yeah, because I know Fake came out in May, so by July he got the #1 spot.
Okay, how long was #1?
2 weeks.
Okay, see that's something in this year because clearly it was banger after banger.
This was some heat. Woo!
Yeah, and then after that you had Pleasure Principle.
Wow.
And then that was just for 1 week, and then you had the next week Freddie Jackson, Jam Tonight. But that was just 1 week. Then you had the next week, it was Levert with Casanova.
My God.
And then they let them hang out there for 2 weeks, and then it was the Force MDs, Love is a House.
Love is a house. You got the key. Yo, this is a bomb ass year, yo.
Wait a minute. JR, were you even alive?
Yeah.
You got an old soul, but that's the only thing that's old about you.
Yeah. I was only.
Yeah, I was born in 1992.
I was only a year older.
After that was I Just Can't Stop Loving You.
Oh, wow. Come on, Slater Garrett.
And then after that was LL Cool J with I Need Love.
On the R&B
Hip-hop
chart.
started making its way onto
Yeah,
the
it started.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you had Lost in Emotion, Lisa.
My baby.
Yes.
Then you had Stephanie Mills back where You're Putting a Rush on Me.
But.
And then you had Bad by Michael Jackson.
So the shade of it all. Catch that, y'all.
And then JR's favorite group, the next week, the OJs with Loving You.
Loving You. Yes.
Okay, they can still do it in 87.
Yeah. Then you had Angela Winbush with Angel. Then you had Stevie with Skeletons. Roger with I Want to Be Your Man.
Oh, wow.
And then you had The Way You Make Me Feel, Michael Jackson.
He ended it.
He ended the year.
Oh,
Wow.
wait a minute. So then Criticize didn't go #1 until next year?
What didn't?
Criticize. I thought Criticize
Was that even a #1 R&B record though?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we about to find out.
Oh wow! I didn't even know.
Lose your mind. Come on, Lisa.
Come on, you know she got to be mentioned. Hello.
I don't think she gets her due at all because she's like the secret sauce in so many of those Jam and Lewis recordings. If you know Jam and Lewis, you know her voice.
You and Elise are the same damn people. I swear.
I told you everything that we was researching that Mark was gonna know all of it.
Because Elise said
I want you to try to know something because like I be trying to learn new things.
She said that they got a secret sauce, and Lisa Keith was a part of that.
Okay, so you know about The Secret? The band, not an actual secret.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Jimmy, Terry, Monty I think it was just Jimmy, Terry, and Monty. Hold up.
Was it Monty? Yeah. And Jelly Bean, too.
Jelly Bean in it too? Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, What Have You Done For Me Lately was supposed to be a secret song. It was supposed to be like a song for The Secret. They were going to do a project. So, like, them not coming out with Jam and Lewis Volume 1, like, they were supposed to do their album as The Secret back in 86, 87, whenever. And What Have You Done For Me Lately was supposed to be a secret song, but then they ended up giving it to Janet. No, wait. I don't know if it was The Secret and then it was, what's the name from Atlanta? Sharon Bryant. But then, like, when she didn't want to work with them, they're like, oh, I'll just take my song, thank you. Which I kind of love that they name names because it wasn't what it was, you know. And I'm sure, like, she did what she did in her career, and she's singing background on "I'm in Love" on the Mary album we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I love that. So it's like it's not like she just faded into oblivion. She started doing what she wanted to do. People do their thing, but that was supposed to be a secret song, and then it turned into "What Have You Done For Me Lately." But they're all over Alexander's first album, and I don't know if Monty Moyer was still on Hearsay, but
I don't think so. I don't think he was.
Nope.
I really don't. Because you got to think too, like, speaking of y'all people, What Have You Done For Me Lately and Janet's Control, right? We, the black world, knew who Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was because of SOS fame. We knew them, but the world didn't know them. You know what I'm saying? That mainstream world didn't know them. So once they did Janet, it was like, this Hearsay album had to be very much anticipated because it was like, all right, now we're paying attention to what they're doing. So Alex is coming out with Hearsay. It's like, all right, Jimmy Jam and them is the hot producers. We got to see. So I know Jimmy Jam and them was like, we got to come with it. That's why it was like, yo, we just won a Grammy. We did all this. This album got to be hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't, we're mainstream ain't gonna rock with us no more. And they came with Hearsay and it was a wrap. They was out of here. Like, they was out of here with Janet. But once Hearsay, I think that solidified everything. Like, boom, pow, no more.
Because it was so, you know, like Alexander O'Neal was a way bigger star outside of the US than he was here.
I didn't realize that until I started looking into Hearsay. like Hearsay was almost like Thriller level, where there might have been 2 songs that weren't released as singles.
Oh my God, yeah. We was looking at that and was like, yo, 9 singles was released.
Hold up. Okay, so this is where we gotta. What Can I Say to Make You Love Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so Say was remixed and it came out in '89.
Yeah.
Lovers, which
Yeah.
we'll come back and talk about that one too. Fake, Criticize, Never Knew Love Like This. Sunshine was released overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was only the last 2 songs in the album that didn't show up as singles somewhere.
What? Crying Overtime wasn't out as a single?
No, see, it's listed on Wikipedia, but I couldn't find anything to substantiate it, and I've never seen it actually released as a single. So I'm like, I can't say that it wasn't.
Okay.
Performing it in. Okay, so I was reading his autobiography this morning. You knew he had autobiography out, right?
No.
Okay, you got to dig this. All right, wait, because I brought all my visual aids. Because yeah.
What?
Alexander O'Neal's All True Man, 3rd album, right?
Yes.
The autobiography is called All True Man.
Really?
You know what? I have seen that. I haven't read it, but I have seen. I did know that. I did know that.
The hell out of it too. Like it is so like it reads like Alexander O'Neal. You really should grab it. It's like I was trying to just kind of reference a few things this morning. I'm like, oh, this is really good. Okay. I say, all right, got you. Oh wow, and it's very, very different from every story you hear. So I'm like, that's why they definitely need a movie, because everybody has a different perspective. Right. Anyway, sidebar, but yes, so many singles from this album. And then like there was the remix album that came after that. And Elise, you were probably going to mention Fake but Christmas.
Yeah. Mark, I said, John, before the end of the show, I gotta say that the Christmas album sound like Fake with Jingle Bells. And then you say it. You just come to steal. You trying to take my spot, Slash?
Well,
but you can't get it because you ain't
got it.
You know what, Elise? Ain't nobody coming to see you.
This shit is crazy because, the exact thing, you're doing everything Elise said.
You're going to be on my show, but said ain't nobody coming to see me. Make it make sense, please.
I don't make the rules. I just came here to tell you what it is.
Oh, my God. He's really, doing everything that you said.
It's like everything, the Lisa Keith, we was just, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can't.
You told Junior about your middle name? Anyway.
So, yes. Let's get into the album.
Okay, go ahead.
What was you about to say, JR?
Because I was about to say, when Alex's first album came out, that, and him and Colonel Abrams was kind of equal to each other during that time, as far as they were kind of on the same level, kind of. But once Alex came out with Hearsay, it was like he left Colonel Abrams in the dust. It was like, yeah, we like How Soon We Forget, but we rock with Faith, and Criticize. And I think everybody just rocked with How Soon We Forget. And like Elise was saying, it sucks that he was kind of pigeonholed in that club vibe. And
I feel like Colonel Abrams was regional because we didn't get him in California. Like we might have seen the records, but they weren't getting the play that they would have been getting elsewhere. Because I know they had hits. You start talking about them in front of the right people, they're like, oh yeah, that's my jam. But Alexander O'Neal, any coast, you already know, somebody has an Alexander O'Neal jam.
Facts. And once Hearsay, it was a rap. It was
this was literally his best album.
Agreed.
Oh, absolutely.
With it
and it ain't even. It ain't even close.
Yeah.
There's really great work on other albums though, but this one is just everything was firing on all cylinders. Jimmy Jam and Turtle.
I will say I think this is one of the most cohesive thing that Jam and Lewis, one of their most cohesive albums.
I would very much agree with you.
I agree with that too.
I couldn't even imagine a different way to arrange it. This is
okay. Random factoid: do y'all ever listen to Moni Love?
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear the song Are You Single?
Yes.
And did you realize that the whole intro of Hearsay is at the beginning of Are You Single?
Damn, I didn't even realize that though.
I ain't never thought about it.
Either.
Because I ain't listened to the song forever. So it's like,
But like Are You Single is like one of my favorite songs from there because she's clowning and it's hilarious. But like I just thought that party scene was maybe one of the producers talking in the background saying like, oh, it's gonna be kind of right tonight. Like, oh, when I say you got to party, you got to party. But then when I finally went back and listened to Hearsay, the intro, I'm like, oh wait, that's Alexander O'Neal on the Moni Love album because it's just the whole intro of the album. And they cut the part out where he says like, this is Alexander O'Neal's party from the song. So you don't hear that it's Alexander O'Neal, but it's him. Alexander O'Neal likes to refer to himself as Alexander O'Neal, right? What is that?
that's my kind of people there.
Yeah.
You would say that. I'm surprised you haven't referred to yourself as Elise Leslie.
It'll happen eventually.
Wait for it. Take a sip when you see it, Junior. So
somebody help me right now.
I'm just saying, like, I was just amazed, but like little stuff like that. It's like people don't realize these influences, they go everywhere. I'm proud on their behalf. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh.
How about y'all? What's y'all favorite song? Since you always want to get in my business and whatnot.
Me and JR is the same.
Your ass right quick.
Oh, Fake.
Fake.
Patty, Fake.
Oh, see, I can stunt today. I got that
That's
too.
what we doing? Oh,
That
okay.
is what
You guys got the
I'm
shrink
keeping
wrap.
it straight simple,
Got shrink
and
wrap.
that's all I got. I'm keeping it simple, and that's it.
yeah. I'm like, I can stunt too.
You want to do me like that? All right, then, Elise.
It's all good. No, because you be
Well, why
stunting.
is Fake your
You be
favorite song?
stunting on me.
Why is it mine?
Yes.
Because of that nasty ass bass.
That's Terry.
Yes, like Terry is getting his James Jameson on that record. Like, son, oh my god! And then it just feels good. Like it's soon as I hear it, it's just like, dun, dun. And then I just love that. Dun, 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 dun. Oh God! Oh, I want to hear it right now.
The fact that Alexander's like, can I get some nasty bass? And then Terry comes in with that. I love that specifically because when they were in the time, Prince was like literally like telling Terry like, you know, you have to play the bass like this. And then when other people had Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis produce things, they wanted him to play the bass like that. But Prince was like, don't give away the special sauce, which I don't know why he was saying that because Prince played all the instruments on the time but didn't let them do the stuff that they could do.
Mm-hmm.
But like if they were to be like playing the bass like it would be on a time record, Prince would have been like, wait a minute, this is a violation or whatever. So with them doing the bass like they wanted to do it, pat the bass, it was like, well, Prince, what you gonna do? Fire us again?
Okay.
Imagine they're sitting there patting the bass like, hey Prince, how you doing?
Right.
So one of the reasons I love the song is completely outside of the musicality of it. I think it's a just freaking hilarious song.
It really is though.
It's a funny record. Yeah.
It is funny, and it's still funny. I don't see no hair on the floor.
First of all, who walks around with hair on the floor like they just got their hair cut? Sir, what are you doing?
And then one part of the record that I love, that I sing the most, he said, "If women could be counterfeit, then you be it."
Oh my God. I love it.
It's such a fun record.
It is.
It really is.
And then
Like you dance, you laugh, and then you're like, oh shit, that is some nasty bass. Like,
yeah.
It is. It
like,
feel like,
who's playing
like if you touch your fingers get sticky, that's that kind of thing.
Yes. Oh
Very
my God.
So,
yeah, that's, you know, as a kid say, it's a bop.
It is.
It is, but it kind of still is. I'm like, even if you're like, oh, that sounds old, I'm still dance to it.
And it still is. Okay.
Mhm.
Makes you want a Christmas record. I'm just saying.
So Mark keeps, just for the viewers at home, because sometimes we forget it's the audience watching this.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I would ask you to cut things out, but I know you won't. You're just going to leave me out here looking like a way.
Oh,
No,
not only will I
Elisa-
not cut it out, but I want to put a caption. To
I was
make it
just
work.
about to say that, but let me tell you something. You think that Elise ain't, when she go back and do like the editing stuff, and you will see the captions, you be like, how the hell you catch that shit, yo? Like, and she like, oh, remember, I'm the last one to see it before it goes out.
She is so nasty. So rude.
So rude. Yes. Oh.
Like that bass.
Basically, you were
That
so
bass was so
fake.
nasty, so rude. The fact that he said that and it's on the record.
I'm just saying.
And he probably did that on purpose to be like, yeah, give me some of that nasty bass. We want Prince to hear this because he didn't want us to do it. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm
That was
not
definitely
mad.
wink, wink, nudge, nudge type situation. Yeah.
This is the thing, like, even with them having the success that they were, like, having come out of the Prince camp, it's like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were like the underdogs for the longest time, but they like worked like they were trying to prove themselves. It's like, that's why you get all that extra potency and whatnot, because like these men were trying to like pay all their bills and whatnot. They weren't trying to be like the cast off has been. No, they were gonna make this thing happen. So I respect it, and plus I'm a huge fan, so.
that's true. That's so true.
But yeah. But my favorite song after Fate, I forgot what I said it was.
I know.
Oh,
Make it good.
Sunshine.
Oh, okay. That's my number one. And I don't know how it got to be my number one, but wait a minute. Put the TD in the camera real quick so I can see. What does your tattoo actually say for people who don't know?
Sunshine.
Word. And is it after Alexander O'Neal?
No.
Are you sure? Because I was trying to set you up so you look good, because you're going to watch this probably and be like, you know what?
No.
I should take her on tour with me as a backup singer.
It's after that big ball of fire in the sky. That's the
It's been
reason.
done. Shh. Earth, Wind, and Fire did it first. Your tattoo is a fake. If women could be counterfeit,
He is on one.
look, I knew you was gonna start shooting at me first. So I'm like, look, it's revenge. I'm not gonna wait till I get you back. It's like I know you come, so let me just shoot these shots first.
Oh God.
You must be talking about Clyde, because Elise is the name that I go by.
Wow, all this hostility. I thought we were friends.
I never knew love like this.
This is love.
Clearly.
Guess what? Mark gonna be crying overtime when he get in the car.
I'm definitely criticizing right now.
My God. So
But yeah, my three is fake. It's fake. Sunshine, criticize are my favorites.
Wait a minute. Was Never Knew Love Like This also a number one?
No,
I don't know. I don't think so, actually. But
Fake
it
was
a
the
top
only
5,
number.
though.
yeah, fake was the only number one. Off of that.
Because now I got to look at the Wikipedia, which they don't always source everything, but
No, it's not always right. But
No,
I,
not at all.
but I did go check the charts on that, and the number one was fake as far as singles.
oh, that's terrible. I was certain that Criticize was also a number one.
It's
Now I'm
not.
disappointed.
I promise you.
Because the cool thing was, I don't like your tone, just saying.
Catch that. I was waiting for him to catch that.
I'm like, should I ignore this? No.
Obviously, he didn't.
Oh God. People
But
gonna love this episode.
Criticize was the song that actually Alexander O'Neal co-wrote on the album.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Yeah.
Fake was number one, and
Mhm.
Criticize was. I thought it was. I'm disappointed now, but I love the song so much. It's actually so hard to pick like a favorite. Like so.
And then criticize. It's just such an interesting song. It's such it's kind of an unlikely jam. Just how they, just like like I just didn't like see that coming or think that would work, and it does. It's kind of the beautiful thing about the song.
I don't know if it was Alexandra came up with it, because I'm impressed that it seems like the kind of thing that Jimmy and Terry would write, because I'm like, this is pretty genius. But like lyrics, that very much is Alexander O'Neal. So like it's just got his whole vibe to it.
Yeah. But then you have to think about it. These dudes are always together and they're creating together.
Right.
So they're going to pick up things from each other.
Right.
So if they work together, of course, if he write a song, it's going to have some, Jam and Lewis elements, because that's.
I think that happened with SOS Band a lot. By the time they put out Sands of Time, which I so love writing about on Albumism, like even the SOS Band productions were starting to sound like Time-ish, which was cool because I'm like, that sound was hot. They knew what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just love Lisa Keith on Criticize, like how she shines on that, man. Like, because like I'm telling Elise, Alexander is the type that can't do his own background. He can't. I'm sorry. I feel like he can't.
Wait, has he ever?
He did on The Finest with the SOS, but as you can see, him being on background, he still shines. They ended up giving him a lot of, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
it's supposed to be a feature. I'm like,
yeah. Now when you see, like when I see things online, like if you go on YouTube or anything like that, you will see now it says The Finest featuring Alexander O'Neal. I'm like, that's so petty. Like,
well, I mean, featuring Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle, and you can hardly hear Sherelle in there. It was her and Lisa Keith in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
No, why not? Go ahead and like leverage your properties.
Because if you see that
Star on Taboo, like go ahead, make it a posse cut.
Right. And like I told, and like me and Elise was discussing too, and I think we told Jimmy Jam when he was in our live.
Which is so great.
Like, look,
you're live.
Right, that's crazy. And he was sitting there, and I was like, Jimmy, if anybody was in the studio with y'all made them work. It didn't matter. It's like Elise said, the janitor that was doing the track, look, come on in, give us a hand clap or something. Like we need to
make stuff useful.
Look, this is the thing I love about hearing about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, like particularly with Terry doing vocal production. Because as much of a Shaka fan as I am, like I remember in the background, even if it was Shaka or Terry saying like when they were doing them takes, Shaka would just want to do things like one or two times, be like, okay, I'm done. And Terry's like, no, you're not. You ain't coming out the booth till I feel it. I'm like, Terry said what to Shaka? It lived.
Are you serious?
Like, yeah. Terry Lewis is like the vocal producer, which is the reason why I love listening to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. What you may find often is it's not just the production, but like people who are really good vocalists do their best with them because Terry can really bring the best out of them.
Yeah.
So, like people don't notice, like, oh yeah, like they're really good vocalists, but they just happen to be like a touch better because Terry's like, I know you're capable of this. I want to bring this out of you, and has the ways to do it. That's like a whole separate Jimmy and Terry thing because, like, you know how I feel about my dudes. But here, like Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle's records together, they were always together. Like even the stuff that was like album cuts were like really tight vocals, like really good background vocals, like supported by the music. When they did things separately, you still had their voice, but the producers didn't always know how to support them as well as Jimmy and Terry did. So it's like that was kind of the thing that lost on some of the other albums. Like people who as good as working with those instruments, great instruments, but like you had to bring out the best in it. Like Hearsay they were on, but like I don't know if they were trying to remake Hearsay on other albums. They should have, because I missed that sound so much.
Like Elise said, like we were saying, when he did Love Makes No Sense, and that was in like '93.
Yeah.
You can even tell by all True Man, like you could tell that sound was kind of like Jimmy and Terry was a part of it, but then you had Boston McElroy on it. You had so many other people on it, so the sound was kind of wasn't the same as Hearsay.
Right? Like I think Alexander O'Neal's drug habit was really kind of getting to them, and Jimmy and Terry just didn't want to deal with it.
Right.
They had actually paid for him to go to rehab.
Wow.
I think actually either it was during Hearsay or after Hearsay. I could be messing up my story, so like don't quote me on that. But like Alexander O'Neal talks throughout the book about his drug habit. He's not like shy or anything at all. But I think he's like functional with it. And I hope that he's off of it now and is like stable with his family, because like I want that man to be around for a long time. And you know that he actually remade the whole Hearsay album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know if it was live or studio, but like 30 years later, which is kind of a cool thing that he could still do.
Yeah, because it was 2017, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, good for him. Like again, leverage your properties, use everything you got to get what you want.
True that. That
came around. I don't know if it was the same. Like they had a lot to do, and they probably had to work on the schedule. And I don't know if you can really tell Alexander O'Neal what to do, but so many times. So they probably just couldn't do the work that they wanted to do. And I guess the thing that I was reading in the autobiography that surprised me was like even after like the Taboo label was over, the Taboo record deal was over. Terry offered him a deal with Perspective, but he didn't do it because he was insulted by how much they offered him. But then like he took another offer from someone else who was offering more money, but the album was not great, and like it didn't set him up to sound the best. I kind of get like when you have like Alexander O'Neal has an ego. It's part of what makes him sound good. Like he basically is grabbing his nuts on every track, and it's part of what you do. But it worked against him at a certain point. I don't know if he was able to sustain like we want him to, like even doing stuff with Sherelle. Like I liked the Baby Come to Me duet, but it wasn't the same as if Janet Rose had done it. It's just like, man, almost. Just like, I love that Hearsay exists because it captures their sound and his sound when they were both at their best.
Yeah.
Another thing, what do you know about the song Hearsay?
See, I love it because y'all was talking about how y'all favorite after Fake is criticized or Sunshine. Mine is What Can I Say to Make You Love Me. So after that, then it goes to Hearsay, and it's so dope. You know what I mean? So it's just like, for me, I love Hearsay. I love Hearsay so much.
So have you ever heard A Broken Heart Can Mend from the first album?
Absolutely.
It's first song.
And
right.
Notice how similar Hearsay is to A Broken Heart Can Mend?
Oh.
We just...
Mark, you gotta go. He's doing this the whole show.
I don't even know why we write down notes.
I don't even know why we write down notes for him.
Because you always hit every place that we want to go.
Every place we want to go.
On cue.
I'm sorry. See what had happened was.
And I had kind of said that too, because I said, I don't even know why we doing this. Mark know all this stuff.
Right. And he's going in the way we want.
But you get to geek with me, and I usually have to geek by myself.
I have a phone number, but it's okay. Go ahead.
So this is the thing, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but part of why I love A Broken Heart Can Mend so much is because it sounds just like Prince's 17 Days. And I don't know if that was on purpose or an accident, but they're the same tempo, they're in the same key, the same chord structure.
Well, that would make sense because I love that song so much. And
like the other thing I don't know is like, I don't know if Prince gave credit for everybody who did everything, because like there's probably some things where like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were like doing it in rehearsal, and then Prince is like, oh, that's nice, and next thing you know, they hear something come out the studio that sounds just like that. But I don't know if any of those credits are actually out there, if it's really been like mentioned. Like I don't hear about anything like that. There's Prince songs where like maybe he gave all the credit to Morris, or he took all the credit himself, but it might have been Des Dickerson or Morris Day playing on this or that, and like you can never trust a Prince credit because it's always going to be a little something different. I don't know. Maybe Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis actually did come up with the riff for like 17 Days one time, and like Prince took it and like ran somewhere with it. And then basically when they did A Broken Heart Can Mend, it's like, okay, well, this is my song now. So, they might think, oh, you took this from Prince. I'm like, I don't know if it wasn't the other way around.
Right.
But
it's muddy though, because like I said before, when you're working around people and you're with them day in and day out, some of y'all gonna sound like, just like I talk to JR every day. He says about half of the phrases that I say, and I say about half of his things. Right. The name of this show came from me just picking up and saying the thing that he said. So
Right.
it's inevitable. You're gonna cross pollinate.
That's cute. Where is it?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Was it okay? Did I mess up again? What is the schedule to catch that? So I know when y'all do your lines, I won't do them too soon.
You know what? And you going back to the first album too, how I said that I love Crying Overtime. And I felt like that gave me the feeling of the first album to me. Because one thing about me, I love when an artist comes out with a new album. And like Elise said, a lot of people don't like when an artist is doing something different, right? And they want to keep them in this box. But for me, give me the new stuff, give me the new flavor, but also give me something that I fell in love with you for. And I felt like Crying Overtime gave me on the first album what I loved about Alex. Like, and it was like, oh, okay, this is a little familiar to me. I don't know, maybe it's me, I don't know.
All right, so one, I absolutely agree with you because there were great ballads on that first Alexander O'Neal album. But the other thing that I love about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis formula, so like whatever they do, if they're doing it on your first album, they can recreate it. Like they actually have the sauce. So I'm not surprised like Hearsay has this thing. It's not a copy of it. It just gives you the vibe. So you feel like, okay, this is what I came for on the first album. I'm getting something like that on the second album, and then some stuff because there was no criticizing the first album. They weren't even ready. Anyway.
No, they weren't. No.
So I'm thinking, what song on Hearsay reminds me of something from the first album, Alexander O'Neal? And I think it might be that Sunshine is like in the same vein as If You Were Here Tonight, which was a big song for him.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes. For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Sunshine is definitely that song for this album.
But I mean, of course, Monty Moyer did that song. Sunshine has its own thing on it. It's Alexander's vocal on that just gets me. My God.
The fact that Babyface went guest and did a verse for a song, and he had a song named Sunshine that came out the same year or the year before, and he sang Alexander O'Neal's Sunshine.
It bugs me out all the time. I'm like,
hey,
you get on a track named Sunshine and you have your own, but you sing Alex. I'm like, that's to show you Alex was that dude.
I recognize Sunshine from it being played on the radio, even though it wasn't really a single in America. So when I heard the Jay-Z song, I'm like, oh, I like this. It's familiar. Like, it sounds like something. Well, when I finally went back and listened to Hearsay, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is an Alexander O'Neal song.
So it wasn't official stateside single?
No, I mean, they only put out so many singles stateside, but like Alexander.
Well, then you know what it was then? That was a Black radio staple.
It was.
That was a radio single. They made it a single.
Exactly. Like Remind Me off of Patrice Rushen. Like it was never a single.
Never.
No.
Because they played Sunshine.
Exactly. And it just fit the format. I don't know if they wouldn't try to get a single out of that. But
what'd she do, JR?
I love it. I swear. Okay.
She was gonna do it. I knew that's why I was like, let me try to do it before. And then she heard it, but she just kept on.
So this is the funny thing, all right? So you're talking about Babyface sounding like borrowing Sunshine from that Alexander O'Neal thing. Like, I don't know whose call that it was. And maybe they just asked him the song and he did it, which was cool. It was dope. I don't care what people say about Shiny Suit Jay-Z. That's the song I love. But it's because of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Babyface together. Have you heard the remixes?
I hate that song with passion. I hate that. I hate that song.
Why are you so rude?
Right. I love it. I love the song. I think
I know you do. We've had this conversation before.
But you need some of what's
I
in
do
juice.
not like that song.
Because you be drinking Haterade.
At all. No, I be drinking wine. But
same thing. You drink wine, you start hating. Haterade.
I will accept that. I will accept that. I own it. I'll own that.
Have you listened to the remixes of The Lovers before?
I have.
No.
Oh my God, are you
After
serious?
my big three, that's my number 4 on the album. Is Lovers.
Okay, so the weird thing about this is Lil Silas Jr. did the remixes of The Lovers, and it ends up sounding like Mercedes Boy by Pebbles.
It does.
Straight up, like,
actually, I like that version. And I told Elise this because Elise asked me what was my least favorite, right, on the album. And it sucks that you got to pick an album like this because the album is perfect. You love all the songs, but if I had to pick one, it was Lovers. And the reason why is because I actually love the remix because it does sound very much like Mercedes Boy, so much like it. And I love Mercedes Boy by me.
I can.
My least favorite is Crying Overtime.
No, you can't have that as your least favorite. That's my least favorite.
That's my least. No, I love that song. Wait a minute.
You trying to fit in. Look, see how you do?
I love you just the way you are.
We gonna like you anyway. You ain't got to have our same face. We're not Twitter.
Oh, well.
How is that y'all least favorite, honestly?
You know what? Because everything else is so good, Crying Overtime is like an obligatory ballad. You got to have a slow jam thing in there. Like in the second side was really like Cool Down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be old for a minute. So like when you had them albums that you could do the do to, like you want to have all the ballads in the same place. So if you're setting a mood, you know, they're all like right where you need them. Like when you listen to the second side of Rhythm Nation, you get into like Come Back to Me and Lonely and then Splash Tonight. And then by the time like, you know, you're hearing Someday Is Tonight, hopefully something good is happening for you that night. Like on Hearsay, like Crying Overtime is like, it's very bedroom, basically. You get from that to like When the Party is Over. And then like, you know, by the time that song is going, like basically the needle's at the end of the record and it's going because hopefully you were busy, you know?
Right.
You flip the record. So, but I feel like I love like When the Party is Over where that sits. But Crying Overtime, I don't actually need it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Although, okay, so one of the things that was really funny in the autobiography that I was reading is that Alexander O'Neal like prided himself, like even like though he had like his drug habit that he was managing, he never missed shows. Like he was never the unreliable artist. Like he took care of his business. He said one time he was doing Crying Overtime live, and he went through the song, like did it, and said, you know, thank you all very much. He said we're gonna do this next little song called Crying Overtime, and didn't realize he sang the same song twice. Like went through the whole thing in like in New York.
Oh no.
And he said the band was making fun of him because he's like, what? You know how to do the song twice. They're like, yes, you did. And I think if I was in the audience with that song, I'm like, that is not my favorite song on Hearsay. Now, if you had done, let's say, The Lovers twice, I'd have been like, extended version, keep rolling with it. Fake twice. Ooh. Hearsay, come on. But Crying Overtime, I would have been mad. I'm like,
you big man.
Yeah. I mean, I do love the song, but I ain't want to hear it twice now.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a no skips
And
album.
the thing is, I don't dislike the song.
I
love the whole album.
Me too. I
don't not love it.
You remember when you did me crazy on Any Old Sunday talking about Shaka Khan?
He brings this back up.
Yes. Because you besmirched my name, spreading on my name all over town. See, this is why I like that was bad. Because people was talking bad about him. Y'all the reason why I love Hearsay, because y'all was out here spreading all these rumors and whatnot. See, a lie is not the truth to let you believe it. That's the thing right there. Let's get into the fact that this was a whole gaslighting song. The thing about Crying Overtime is it's probably the slowest song on the album, probably. And I'm like, you know, it does this and this, but like Crying Overtime is like the real like about. And again, I'm not a kid anymore, but still, I'm like, I don't necessarily want that vibe all the time.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm more likely to skip Crying Overtime. Y'all better not have a thing to say about it.
Well, no.
Shady.
Oh no, you got too much material with this one.
Actually, how many tracks are on here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 songs, I think.
9 songs, yeah. You could just ask me. It's 9, yeah.
You didn't offer. Why are you being difficult? Why are you like this? I don't understand. I be trying to like you. You make it so hard.
I feel gaslit. I think. I'm not sure.
Look, I don't know if this was in your notes either, but like, were you gonna get to the album where they remixed all the songs from Hearsay, like the first album?
That dude looked like a straight pimp. I swear.
Look, the slick back was moving.
Pimp name Slickback. You gotta say the whole thing.
His hair was doing a whole body roll. And I'm not mad at it because if my West African hair could do that, I would too, but it will not. So. Look, okay, I don't think
this episode is staying in the vault. I'm gonna release it.
All right.
Not really, but
oh my God.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, look, I don't think people realize how big Hearsay was because it spun out that whole remix album.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is on here? There's a house mix of Fake. What Can I Say to Make You Love Me? The extended version of Never Knew Love Like This. A whole special remix of Criticize that wasn't on the 12-inch. That version of The Lovers that we were talking about that sounds like LA and Babyface produced it. And then like a couple songs remixed from like the first album, but like you didn't have this unless your album was really a smash. They were making hell they last. And like the version of Hearsay that was remixed and released in the UK, I feel like it should have been on that album, but it wasn't.
Because this is the album actually with Innocent. They did the remix for Innocent, the last record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm super proud about it, but I don't think it gets its flowers. It's just like, oh yeah, we heard of Alexander O'Neal. Oh yeah, we have a couple songs in there. Like, no, they were keeping those things moving. And if your singles didn't pop, they didn't waste money like doing a third or fourth single for an album that flopped. They were trying to get as much out of this as they possibly could. Mm-hmm. And I think they said, Alexander said he got like a $10,000 advance for the first album, even though he had already pretty much been doing it with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. For the second one, like it was something like $100,000, and in the 80s, that was like a lot of money. Yeah. So they were planning to get like money out of it. They knew they had gold on their hands. I don't know if everybody really understands how dope this album is. It's only 9 songs, but yes.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those short, perfect albums, like like your Anita albums, like your to where it's so solid and it's so cohesive and it's just.
It's the
I see you flossing.
He is.
The reason why I'm super excited, right, is because I had ordered a whole bunch of these UK singles that came out that didn't come out in America, and they have like covers and whatnot for SOS Band and Sherelle and Alexander O'Neal. But I ordered them in April, and they're only supposed to take like maybe 8 to 10 weeks at most. I'm like, I didn't see any tracking. I was like, I think y'all just got me for like $100 worth of these, but like I knew these things existed from seeing them on the internet. I'm like, I want to finally get them. So like I finally got all these Alexander O'Neal singles that I really wanted that have like picture sleeves. Like he was like the big deal that he should have been in America. Like I don't know why America was playing him to the left, but over there they're like, oh yeah, we love Alexander O'Neal. It's so odd.
Elise, I was about to say Elise said that too. She said that too because it was like you look at. Like Criticize, I think it like reached like 70 on the Hot 100, but overseas it did so well over there. Like I just don't get it because this is 87. This is before like Keith came and changed music and all of this. I don't understand.
It's still why dudes sold out Wembley.
Yes.
Like dude was saying, there is something to Morris Day being light skinned that he did. Alexander O'Neal was not just black in his face, but in his attitude. Like he wasn't trying to like light skin nothing. Like you were getting all the Alexander O'Neal. I feel like that changed it because light skin was in style, in fashion, like in the 80s. Like all the colorism was doing what it was doing. I'm surprised they didn't just act like, treat him like he was Kelly Price with all her weight on it. They're like, no, we can't market you.
I always said, how would Alex, what do you do to market him? And that's why if you look like on his album covers, it made him seem like he was like that dude, you know what I'm saying? So like
kind of pimpish.
Yeah,
almost.
like because that first album you see he's sitting by a car, you know what I'm saying? And it's like boom. Then you get Hearsay, he that dude like this
He's
is
all
me.
shiny. He all shiny.
Like this is me.
These
You know what I mean? Like he doing stuff like that, like, yeah, I'm the man. And then you get to My Gift to You, he in that trench coat, like that dude that's on the block that got money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how did they even think about marketing him? But clearly they marketed him like he was a pimp. Ish.
Yeah. They were doing what they do. I love how that was treated, but I really feel like maybe it was just they couldn't deal with Alexander's personality itself. Like, you know, Taboo eventually like let it go. Okay, wait, I take it back. Taboo went from being distributed by CBS to being distributed by A&M.
Yeah.
But then like that's when Love Make No Sense happened, and Sherelle's The Woman I Am album. Neither one of those had Jimmy and Terry's input on them, and A&M's Black Music Division had been shut down. So like that was affecting them. That was affecting, I think, Mint Condition. Like, so they weren't getting the press that they wanted to get. Like it was all like not great. But then like Clarence Avant took Taboo over to Motown, I think. So you got like greatest hits collections from Sherelle and Alexander O'Neal, like some of the best ones. But like they just happened to have the Motown label on the back of it. Alexander O'Neal was signed to Motown. He was supposed to do an album, but things went south, went to the left. And like he left the label. Well, actually, I think they dropped him after a while because they didn't want, like he did some records. They're like, no, none of this stuff is good enough to put out. So they're like, well, forget it. So he started doing indie albums. They were like, the output was, you know, at best. He saw, but like, it's not the same without Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis actually supporting it the way it was. I hate that, you know. So, look, what I was hoping was that, like, Jimmy had said that like this album that they do was going to have like the best Janet song you ever heard on it, the best New Edition song you never heard on it, like Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle, like SOS Band. I think maybe they're holding that back until like a volume 2.
That's what I think. I really feel that.
Arrives on Monday, autographed, and I want to wait until I have the physical copy in my hand so I can just have like the experience and read the credits like I used to back in the days when like Hearsay would come out. But hopefully there will be a volume 2 because I'm here for it, and I love doing interviews everywhere, like passing on this knowledge to people who need it. Please, show the Brunos and the Dreams and everybody else like how to do it so that we don't lose this. Like, save the recipes, please.
Facts.
Elise, why are you giving me something?
What?
Why are you giving me side-eye? What I haven't even said anything in a minute.
I didn't say anything either.
Your face is sour.
I'm listening. No, you like really schooling me. You're telling me things
that's what I'm saying. Like, Mark, like you really schooling, like for real. That's why I'm just like staring. Like,
this is usually not stuff that y'all are like, I know you're not new to this. Like, that's so nice to be like, oh, I didn't know that. You know, you probably knew all this stuff.
Oh.
Y'all read the same credits I do.
Why would I give up a chance to one up you? Come on now. Context, please.
You're right. Yeah, you would never do that.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Y'all give each other compliments and then you don't.
I love Elise. She's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Mark is a shining star.
No, Mark, that was not believable. You got to do that.
You don't like my acting? I thought I was good. That was believable. My heart was in it.
Oh, we cut up. I swear.
Oh, man.
Anyway, usually you do all the asking the questions. Would you like to be the host of this show? Damn it.
I can't.
Yeah, what happened? You never came back on Catch That. I don't know. At least JR and him is acting funny, acting like I'm difficult to be around, but I'm on camera.
This is a bad decision.
See what it is? I'm trying to translate a nice egotistical Alexander O'Neal so that like it's true to what it is.
Yeah, he is acting very Alexander O'Nealish.
That's what it is.
He over.
He is the embodiment of the song criticized. You probably think that song is about you, don't you?
Can't you find something else to talk about? Is this song the only song you sing? What values your opinion anyway?
Mark, whenever I go without.
All right, I'm sorry. Can we start this over? Because your conversation ain't right.
Whenever I go out with you, I find out something new.
Oh my God. I love y'all. I swear.
So.
Yes.
I'm
gonna start with this, I swear.
So now is my favorite part of the show, where we tell Mark goodbye now. Where we...
You know what? I'll have to take... Let me gather my things and put on my glasses.
Oh my God.
I cannot.
I don't have to deal with this.
Oh my God.
Highly unprofessional.
I don't want to be an R&B representative anymore.
I really don't.
I'm like, what if our heartbeats, a flash get on? I am no longer a member of the
Oh my God. Actually,
I love you, brothers. But make sure to check out my #1 single. It's Lonely at the Top.
This was bad. This was so bad.
Oh God. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Are you? Yes. But everyone knows that my favorite part of this show is word/song association.
Okay. I'm ready.
So I'm gonna give you an artist or an album or a song, and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right. Sherelle.
Oh, I love her. Yeah. Okay. Sherelle was the reason why I wasn't more of an Alexander O'Neal fan, because she took all my attention. Like, okay, so if I haven't squandered all the goodwill with y'all, can you please bring me back to talk about Affair? Because I love that album, and it's kind of like a sequel to Hearsay.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
I agree.
All through, like, you know, whatever mess was on Hearsay, they like weaved it in with the messiness. As a matter of fact, there's that interlude that's right before, I think, Criticized, that it gets sampled on Discreet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. But yes, Sherelle, I love, and I wish she was like a social media person so I could be throwing flowers at her like, hi, it's a regular ass day, but I love you. That's all. In the meantime, I'll just be tweeting like Pebbles and asking her, can you please tell your cousin that she's the best?
All right.
Okay, well, it was really nice doing this episode with you. They're probably not going to invite me back. I feel it.
The time.
Oh, chili sauce. The other thing, I was just noticing when Alexander O'Neal says it's going to be kind of right tonight. I don't know if that was just a thing that people said back then, if it was a Minneapolis thing, but it's also on the time.
Oh.
I don't know what those time records would have been like if Alexander O'Neal had been singing them. Like, he would have killed them songs. I don't know if there would have been enough in there for him, like, vocally. He needed like the kind of songs that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were doing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, you know,
what he could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Alexander needed like whole songs to get into.
Yeah. All right. I forgot my other person. Oh, SOS Band. SOS Band.
Oh, that's like, they're like the big three, basically. Like, they're the reason why Taboo Records had my full attention. Like, anything that had that label in the 80s, I was like all over it. And like the fact that they showed up on each other's albums from time to time, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, I love them so much. All right, so cheap plug, when I did that article celebrating the 35th anniversary of Sands of Time, like, it was really way too long, but I packed all my Minneapolis love in there. I really did, because it's like, you know, I don't know if I'll get a chance to like give that band their flowers, but I really wish they could have done some other things together, because I love Mary's voice. I know she just retired from there, but oh
God, I love her voice too.
Yeah, like, it was just had a thing that this was perfect, all three of them. But I'm sorry, that answered the question right?
No, you're fine.
There's no wrong answer.
Because this conversation wasn't right.
No. So next, All True Men.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you know how we used to call Alexander's music aggressive R&B?
Mm.
True Man is even more aggressive than like Hearsay. Like he was giving you like all of the church hollering. He's giving you all that Natchez, Mississippi. Look, I'm just I swore he said like you need a man who can go to Wake. Like
yeah, go to Wake.
Right. Yes.
Just
oh
like
my
God. I loved it. All True Man is yes. With the suits, with the big shoulders and everything, like everything about it was like extra masculine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. And my gift to you.
Why are you doing me like this, Elise?
Because I ain't shit.
Great. That was my line. So since you said it, I'm good. My gift to you. All right. This is the raggedy thing. I have this album because I'm like, I just wanted to have the complete collection. I started collecting everything he did. But whenever it came around to Christmas, I never actually listened to the album. It's always when I'm listening to Fake and then I want to hear the jingle bells.
That's all you need. All you need is to play Fake and get a tambourine.
Basically.
Really?
Like, you know what? Santa Claus can jig too. You know? You need that.
Sleigh ride.
Oh my.
Yes.
Come on, Angry Christmas. Give me some
ride.
That was dope.
And you know, actually, half of it sound like Fake with jingle bells, and the other half sound like Criticized with jingle bells.
And how's that a bad thing?
I didn't say it was bad. I never ever. When I say this, I never ever said it as an insult.
I listen to the album around Christmas though. For me,
I like it.
I play it first,
well,
but then
I'm a Grinch. I'm a self-confessed Grinch. So like anytime I listen to it, it's ironic. I just want to hear the production because it was on point.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
Love about Jimmy Terry Lewis is like you get a through line between like if you listen to Hearsay, like you'll hear parts of like some of the stuff that they were doing on Control, but evolved for Alexander. It's not like they did the same sound on every artist, but you can kind of hear their artistry like kind of doing its morph and change. So by the time you hear Sherelle doing Affair, it's like, oh, it's just like Hearsay, but with some other things added, some other things removed. It's cool to see like Alexander O'Neal develop as an artist, Sherelle develop as an artist, SOS Band too, but Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were showing their growth through all these albums.
Yes.
And here's a super high point. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Like they should have had like their own 30th anniversary celebrating it because it's as much their album as anybody's. They did everything.
Yeah. Like I said, I always say with Jimmy Jam and Terry, like from like 1986 to like 1992, the albums that they were doing, and all of these around the same time. Like you got Alex, Janet, you know what I'm saying? You got Ralph, you got New Edition, you got Sherelle, you got all them the time back in 90, like all of this, but you see the growth of them on each of them. It's like, wow, you guys are just dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, okay. Another thing that I was late catching on to, and this isn't about Hearsay, but just from the first album, it took me forever to realize that Innocent is like the Times Get It Up, but redone.
It is. Yep.
But like, it's not like it's a copy of it. Like it has Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis's sauce on it. And like all these years I've been listening to like Innocent, and it's like, wait a minute, this kind of sound like something. If it took me this long to be like, it kind of reminds me of Get It Up, that means they did a very good job. Otherwise, it'd have been like when Loose Ends came through, like doing like their sound. It's like, oh, they definitely sound like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It's like it wasn't like, oh, they sound like Loose Ends. It's like, no, it sounds like the SOS Band.
Like Elise always do say when you think of songs of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, like how she said in the beginning, if you were still here, you hear that, but go listen to Can You Stand the Rain? Exactly the same. Like,
you know,
but
the right place.
Yeah, that underlying thing is the same, but the songs don't sound. But it's a weird thing to where And maybe that is like genius to where it sounds the same, but it don't at the
Mhm.
same time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like it has such enough different flavor that it's just.
honestly, I
And
just feel
sometimes the same
Nope.
thing works
Yep.
with different people,
True.
and it comes out and it manifests in a whole different way.
Right.
God, and that's what they're very good at, finding out what the artist needs and like putting the right kind of music behind it. They're not like drowning Janet's voice with too much of anything. Like make sure that she pops out. Like they're giving like Alexander O'Neal something to really, like you can't like give him some thin ass tracks. Like Alexander O'Neal has a grown ass voice, so like they had to give him like substantial music, like something that's like really like together. So like,
was you like by our door, like while we were talking about this? Because we said the same thing. Because I was like, when you think of like I was saying, Johnny Gill was around doing when they did Rhythm Nation, right? Because he was working on his.
right.
But you know they weren't gonna let Johnny do no background. That's why Skin Game did not make the album. It was a B-side. Because it was like, oh, hell no, you're not going to outshine Janet at all. We can't do that.
This is crazy, right? Just last night, I put in an order for a Come Back to Me CD single because I just always wanted those on CD. Like, they have a real good copy version of the Skin Game because all I got is 12-inch now. But
yeah.
was he actually singing on there?
Because you hear him sing it again. like, then you can't put that on Rhythm Nation at all because it's like, wait a minute. Jimmy and Terry was like, this got to go on the B-side. And we're going to put on the B-side of a ballad. Like, we can't do this. Like, like Johnny.
The Bangers had locked up, though. They didn't need Skin Game. They really didn't.
I love the record, though. But like you said, it's not needed. But good thing it wasn't because Johnny shined on the record. Like, to me, that's why I was like,
Hey, Chad, what'd he do?
What? Sing it.
But if you know Johnny, is that not what he do?
Facts.
Yeah. And I
I would
fucking
like
love it.
to locate where the lie was. I'll give you
Oh
that.
no, I fucking love that.
I love the dramatic of it all. I love it.
It's fun. It's fun.
It really is. Now, like, I just don't understand why Johnny got credited with finger snaps. When I listened to like that part of the song, I'm like, that really is just a keyboard. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Playing?
They had to make Johnny feel like he was included. Like, that's why they probably added, like I told Elise in the second verse, little Johnny all alone. Like,
why you gotta be like, this episode has gone on too long when JR starts acting like Elise.
I own it.
This is the life I chose.
love you. We friends. I miss y'all.
I know. We should.
I promise you, viewers, that me and Mark are very good friends.
We really get along, but most of the time, yeah. She say terrible stuff to me, but like, I don't let it get to me. I just be crying, run to the car, come
Overtime.
back. That's all.
We're gonna leave you off the album because you're not needed.
Look, my concern is now this is going to be like a 3-hour episode, like it's Jimmy Jam and Jimmy Jam on Questlove. Y'all, what else is there? The word association, like I'm trying to think because
No, that's it.
Y'all do.
It's over.
Okay, so now you have to ask me what else I do.
He's so nasty, so rude.
Y'all, you're not hosting the show.
He done been on the show one time, and he done got Hollywood. G always call you Showtime, but I think we got a new Showtime.
Mark was like, "Oh, I'm coming prepared for this. You better put on them glasses. I know that's right."
Mark is like the worst person I know.
The worst.
So what I could have had is like my drink, and I'd be sitting here like sipping, and not answering questions fully, giving you the whole premise, like not answering your like interview questions, like, yes, the album was lovely, and just leave you hanging.
and then leave. Yes.
But yeah. But Mark, what do you have going on? Anything
Yes.
new and interesting coming down the pipeline?
Of course he does.
Well, you've already said that I've been writing for Albumism. And of course, you can find me on Twitter all the time, twitter.com/Mark Chappelle, MarkChappelle. Ta-da. But you don't know that I have a modeling contract. I am about to be a big deal. So I got a contract with this new clothing line.
Oh my God.
So, you kind of got to see like how it's going. So when I come down the runway, they all be wanting me.
Oh my God.
You know, it make it more hilarious that you still got the glasses filter on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a
They
big
gave
deal.
it a little razzle dazzle.
All this, I'm just saying.
Aww.
And see, like when I come down there, people be like, "Oh, that's dope. I gotta have that." So like then they go to the website R&BReps.com, and then they add. It's just what I'm just saying. It's great material. They have other things you can get too.
Oh my God.
Get a
Oh
button.
my God.
You can have all of that. I'm a fan.
Oh God.
And the cool thing is I've never had like one of these like with the magnetic backing. I didn't know you could do that. Like otherwise
I didn't either. It's so dope. I wear mine to work every
cool
day.
though, because like I do love R&B, so like this works. Yep. I'm here for it. Now what you need to do is catch that glasses so I don't have to wear these anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We gotta get him. For sure. For sure.
But
He's
yeah.
the best. I swear. Like I told him. But then he'll come in, we give him a nice compliment. Then you know how Mark is.
Look, I will act right for a whole 5 minutes after
Hey.
the compliment, then I'm going back to who I am. So that's what it is. Anyway, nice episode, y'all. Bye.
No, but on the on a serious tip, we do appreciate you coming, and you always make us laugh.
Yeah, you know we love him.
As long as we laughing, we happy. So
yes.
we love you, and
These are people.
thanks for buying the merch.
Big deal. And yes, it's only a matter of time before it's just like, oh, can you book me for another show? And then you get to put on glasses and be like, I don't know if we're available. We can maybe squeeze you in 2031, 2032.
Oh my God. You tried to get serious, Elise. You see?
Yes,
We cut up
No,
on this one.
we
Oh,
do. But thank you everybody for hanging out with us, and
This was great.
we love the love everyone has been giving us, and we appreciate it. And we will catch y'all on the next episode of Catch That. Peace.